Hello there learners. Welcome to the first video of Module 18, that is Economics and Communities, for the MOOCs course of Heritage Tourism. In this lecture, we will focus on economic impact of heritage tourism on local areas and local communities. Before discussing the topic, let us first discuss economic and socio-economic role of tourism. Tourism is widely recognized as one of the most powerful engines of economic growth in both developed and developing countries. It is not merely a leisure-oriented activity, but a complex system of interlinked industries that significantly contributes to national and local economies. One of the most important features of tourism is its multiplier effect, whereby spending by tourists generates multiple rounds of economic activity across various sectors. When tourists spend money on accommodation, food, transportation, entertainment, and shopping, this money circulates within the economy, stimulating a wide range of related businesses such as hotels, restaurants, travel agencies, handicraft industries, transport services, and local retail markets. As a result, inbound tourism earnings do not remain confined to the tourism sector alone, but spill over into agriculture, manufacturing, construction, and service industries, thereby improving income levels, employment opportunities, and overall standard of living of the local population. The most essential economic contribution of tourism related activities lies in their ability to help developing countries in achieving three critical macroeconomic objectives, that is, revenue generation, employment creation, and foreign exchange earnings. Tourism serves as a significant source of government revenue through taxes levied on hotels, airlines, tour operators, restaurants, entry fees to tourist attractions, and related services. These revenues can be reinvested in public infrastructure such as roads, airports, healthcare facilities, education, and sanitation, thereby promoting long-term economic development. In terms of employment, tourism is highly labor-intensive and creates jobs at multiple skill levels, ranging from highly skilled positions such as hotel management, tour operation, and marketing to semi-skilled and unskilled jobs such as housekeeping, guiding, transport services, and street vendings. This makes tourism particularly valuable for developing economies that face high level of unemployment and underemployment. Another crucial contribution of tourism is the generation of foreign exchange earnings. International tourists bring foreign currency into the host country, which strengthens the country's balance of payment, stabilizes its currency, and reduces dependence on external borrowings. Foreign exchange earnings from tourists enable governments to import essential goods, technology, and capital equipment required for industrial and infrastructural development. In many developing nations, tourism has become one of the largest sources of foreign exchange, sometimes even surpassing traditional export such as agriculture or mining. The role of tourism as a driver of economic growth varies across countries depending on each country's unique characteristics, such as the availability of natural and cultural attractions, level of infrastructural development, political stability, marketing strategies, etc. Beyond its economic role, tourism plays a vital role in promoting socio-economic development, particularly in rural and remote areas. Tourism stimulates economic diversification by encouraging the development of complementary activities such as handicraft production, cultural performances, traditional food processing, and small scale enterprise. This reduces over dependence on agriculture and creates alternative sources of livelihood for local communities. Tourism also contributes to poverty alleviation by integrating marginalized groups, including women, youth, and indigenous communities, into economic activities through employment and self employment opportunities. Community based tourism initiatives, ecotourism projects, and heritage tourism programs enable local people to actively participate in tourism planning and benefit directly from tourism revenues. Furthermore, tourism fosters substantial development by creating incentives for the conservation of natural and cultural resources. When properly managed, tourism encourages the preservation of historical monuments, cultural traditions, wildlife, forest, and landscapes as these assets become valuable economic resources. Sustainable tourism practices promote environmental protection, responsible resource uses, and respect for local culture and traditions, ensuring that tourism development does not compromise the needs of future generations. In this way, tourism acts not only as a source of income and employment, but also as a catalyst for social inclusion, cultural preservation, and environmental stewardship. From the above discussion, we can say that one of the easiest way of finding answers to how does tourism contribute to the local economy is to understand the fact that tourism creates jobs, the jobs ranging from tour guides, hotel staff, restaurants to coach drivers and so on. Tourists undertake travel through variety modes, stay at hotels upon arrival, dine at restaurants, visit attraction sites, rent a car or taxi, enjoy at theater, participate in sports or gaming activities, and so on. All these results in creation of jobs for the resident and bring in cash to the local businesses. Thus, jobs are created through tourist spending for services. Apart from creating jobs, tourism also involves sourcing goods and products locally, such as vegetables, foodstuff, beverages, consumer goods, and handicraft, which provide income to such suppliers. Thus, the spending by tourists becomes income for others. These spendings and incomes of many in a locality creates ripple effect. The tourism development at a destination includes both positive and negative impact in that area. The positive or negative impact depends largely on the nature of planning of the tourism development at the destination. Let us now discuss how heritage tourism affects local economies. Heritage tourism refers to travel that is motivated by an interest in historical, cultural, and natural heritage. It includes visit to monuments, archaeological sites, traditional villages, museums, cultural landscapes, and heritage festivals. In countries like India, with a rich historical and cultural background, heritage tourism has become an important tool for local economic development. Cities like Agra, Jaipur, Varanasi, Hampi, etc., are not just cultural centers but also economic hubs due to heritage tourism. In the following discussion, we will understand how heritage tourism affects local economies both positively and negatively, and how sustainable management can enhance its benefits. Heritage may be of different types, like tangible cultural heritage, which refers to the physical and visible remains of the past that have historical, architectural, artistic, or cultural significance. These include structures such as temples, forts, palaces, monuments, museums, and historical buildings that reflect the craftsmanship and lifestyle of earlier civilization. Such heritage sites serve as living monuments that helps visitors understand the political, social, and cultural history of a region. For example, the Taj Mahal in Agra is one of the most visited heritage monuments in the world. The Red Fort in Delhi stands as a symbol of India's freedom struggle and Mughal governance, while the ruins of Hampi in Karnataka provide valuable insights into the urban planning and religious life. These physical heritage assets are major tourist attraction and contribute significantly to local tourism based economies. Now, intangible cultural heritage, on the other hand, includes non physical aspect of culture that are passed down from generations to generation. This consists of traditions, rituals, festivals, folk music, dance forms, handicrafts, oral histories, and local ways of life. This form of heritage reflects the living culture and social practices of a community. Intangible heritage makes tourism more vibrant and interactive as tourists experience cultural performance and traditional lifestyle firsthand. Example includes the colorful Rajasthani folk dance that express the spirit of desert communities, the spirituality uplifting Ganga Arati ceremonies in Varanasi, which attracts thousands of visitors daily, and the rich tribal festival of Northeast India, which showcase indigenous customs and rituals. These cultural experiences not only preserve traditions but also provide livelihood opportunities to artists, performers, and artisans. The next is natural heritage, which includes natural landscape and ecosystem that are ecological, cultural, and aesthetic importance. This includes mountains, forest, rivers, waterfalls, wildlife sanctuaries, national parks, sacred groves, and UNESCO recognized natural heritage sites. Natural heritage often holds deep cultural and spiritual significance for local communities who worship rivers, mountains, and forests as sacred. Kaziranga National Park in Assam, which is famous for its one-horned rhino, sacred groves preserved by tribal communities, and biodiversity-rich landscape protected as UNESCO World Heritage Site. These natural attractions support ecotourism and promote environmental awareness among tourists. Heritage tourism is important because it creates a strong connection between visitors and the history, culture, and identity of a place. By exploring heritage sites and participating in cultural experiences, tourists gains a deeper understanding of local traditions and historical developments. At the same time, heritage tourism generates economic opportunities for local communities by creating employment in guiding services, hospitality, handicraft production, cultural performance, transport, and local businesses. When managed responsibly, heritage tourism not only preserves cultural and natural assets but also contributes to sustainable development and improved living standard for the local population. Now let us discuss the direct economic impact of heritage tourism. Number 1 is employment generation. So it is one of the most important direct economic impact of heritage tourism. Heritage tourism creates a wide range of job opportunities at the local level, both in the formal and informal sector. Formal employment includes positions such as tour guide, heritage interpreters, museum staff, ticketing personnel, conservation workers, and administrative staff working in the heritage management. At the same time, informal employment is generated for street vendors, artisans, photographers, cultural performers, and small-scale service providers who depends on tourist activity for their livelihood. Employment created by heritage tourism can further be classified into full-time jobs for permanent staff in hotels and museums, part-time jobs for students and seasonal workers, and seasonal employment that peaks during tourist seasons and festivals. In heritage sites such as Jaipur and Agra, tourism supports thousands of direct jobs, making it one of the most important source of livelihood for local communities. Income generation and poverty alleviation represents another significant direct impact of heritage tourism. Tourist spending creates direct income opportunities for local residents through the sales of handicrafts, traditional artworks, souvenirs, and local made products. People also earn by participating in cultural performances, working in local transport services such as taxis and auto rickshaws, and providing food and accommodation services through hotels, guest house, and homestays. The income earned from these activities improve household financial stability and contributes to a better quality of life. Families can spend more on their children's education, access better healthcare services, improve housing conditions, and meet their basic needs more effectively. When tourism benefits are distributed equally among different sections of the society, heritage tourism becomes a powerful tool for poverty reduction and inclusive economic development. The next is growth of local enterprises. So, growth of local enterprises is another direct economic impact of heritage tourism. Tourism creates a favorable environment for the development of small and medium sized enterprises, including micro enterprises, self help groups, and community based businesses. Many women become financially independent by running home based food services, souvenir shops, handicraft production unit, and homestays. Youth are encouraged to start new ventures such as travel agencies, guiding services, photography businesses, cultural event management, and transport services. These entrepreneurial activities strengthen the local economic base, increase innovation, and promote self reliance within the community. As a result, heritage tourism not only generates employment and income but also helps build a strong and sustainable local entrepreneurial ecosystem. So, this was all about direct impact of heritage tourism. Now let us discuss the indirect and long-term economic impact of heritage tourism. Number 1 is infrastructural development. So infrastructural development is one of the most significant indirect and long-term economic impacts of heritage tourism. As tourist arrival increases, governments and local authorities invest heavily in improving physical and social infrastructure to accommodate visitors and enhance their experience. This includes urban renewal projects such as the restoration of old city areas, improvement of historical buildings, development of pedestrian friendly heritage zone, and beautification of public space. Smart city initiatives often include digital signage, online booking system, surveillance for tourist safety, and intelligent traffic management. Expansion of public transport networks such as metro rail, electronic buses, and improved road connectivity not only benefits tourists but also increase overall productivity by reducing travel time, improving logistics, and raising the quality of life for local residents. The next is real estate and land value appreciation. Real estate and land value appreciation occurs when tourists increases the demand for land and property around heritage areas. As more tourists visit a destination, the demand for hotels, guest house, restaurant, cafe, shopping area, and entertainment facility increases. This leads to the construction of commercial buildings, resorts, cultural centers, and shopping complexes. Due to increase in all these, the land price increases and property owners benefit from higher rental incomes and resale value. Local governments also benefits because rising property values increase their tax base, leading to higher municipal revenue through property taxes and business licensing fee. These funds can then be used to improve public services such as healthcare, education, sanitation, and infrastructure. The next is tourism induced investment. Tourism induced investment refers to the financial investments made by private companies and government bodies in tourism related infrastructures and services. Heritage destinations attract investors because of their strong brand value, historical importance, and steady tourist demand. Governments provide incentives such as tax concession, subsidies, and easier approval processes to encourage investment. Public-private partnership model allow private firms to collaborate with government agencies in developing hotels, heritage resorts, convention centers, tourist information centers, and cultural parks. Such investments improve the quality of tourism services, modernize infrastructure, generate employment, and contribute to long-term economic growth. The next is skill development and human capital enhancement. Skill development and human capital enhancement involve improving the knowledge, abilities, and professional skill of local people as a result of tourism growth. Tourism creates demand for trained professionals in areas such as hospitality management, tour guiding, art, customer services, marketing, and event management. To meet this demand, training institutes, vocational centers, and tourism management colleges are established. Capacity building programs, workshops, and internship helps youth and women develop practical skills. Exposures to international and domestic tourists improve language skill, communication abilities, and cross-cultural understanding. Over time, this leads to improved career opportunities, higher wages, and upward social mobility. The next is multiplier effects. Multiplier and spillover effects refers to the broader economic impact of tourism on sectors that are not directly involved in tourism. Income generated from tourism does not remain limited to hotels and travel agencies. It spreads to agriculture, fisheries, poultry, handloom, handicrafts, transportation, and construction industries. Hotels and restaurants buy food grains, vegetable, fruits, milk, egg, fish, and meat from local farmers and producers. Artisans benefits from the increased demand for handicraft and souvenirs. Transport services depend on fuel supplies, machines, and spare parts dealers. This continuous circulation of money strengthens rural and regional economies, creates employment, and promotes balanced regional development. So, despite having various positive economic impact, heritage tourism have some negative impact also. So let us discuss some negative aspect of heritage tourism. The number one is seasonal employment. So seasonal employment is one of the most significant negative economic effect of heritage tourism. Many tourism related jobs such as tour guides, artisans, waiters, hotel staff, and performers are available only during peak tourist seasons. During off-season, when tourist arrival declines sharply, workers face income insecurity and unemployment. The seasonal nature of work forces people to depend solely on tourism for income, which becomes risky when visitors' numbers decreases due to weather conditions, economic slowdowns, or global event. As a result, families involved in tourism often struggle to maintain financial stability throughout the year, making their livelihood highly vulnerable. The next is leakage of revenue. Leakage of revenue occurs when a substantial portion of the tourism earnings leaves the local economy instead of benefiting local communities. This happens particularly when large hotel chains, tourism companies, and travel agencies operating in heritage areas are owned by outsiders or multinational companies. Similarly, when online platforms dominate hotel and homestay bookings, a percentage of the revenue goes to the companies located in other cities or countries. Moreover, many package tours are coordinated by metropolitan based operators who bring tourists but repatriate most of the profits. This reduces the amount of money retained within the destination and limits the income that local business and resident can earn from tourism. The next is increase in the cost of living. So this is another common negative impact in heritage destination experiencing rapid tourism growth. As demand for food, housing, transport and basic services increases, prices often rise sharply. Landowners may increase rent to earn more from tourists, making it difficult for local residents to afford housing in their own communities. Restaurants, grocery stores, and the shopkeepers sometimes raise their prices because tourists are willing to pay more than locals. Over time, the inflation affects the daily lives of residents, especially low income groups who struggle to maintain living standards amid rising costs triggered by tourism activity. The next is cultural commercialization, which refers to the modification or distortion of local culture solely to attract tourists. When cultural traditions such as music, dance, festival, and rituals are performed repeatedly for visitors, they may lose their authenticity. For examples, festival may become overly commercialized with increased focus on entertainment rather than cultural significances. Traditional crafts may be mass produced using cheap materials to meet tourist demand, reducing their cultural values. As culture become commodified, local communities sometimes abandon genuine cultural practices in favor of tourist-friendly versions, leading to a decline in traditional values and loss of cultural identity. The next is environmental and heritage degradation. So this is another serious negative impact associated with over-tourism. When too many visitors gathers at a heritage site, the physical structure can deteriorate due to wear and tear. Excessive footfall can damage ancient floors, carvings, stone pathways, or fragile archaeological remains. Additionally, littering, improper waste disposal, and pollution degrade the surrounding environment. Increasing traffic leads to congestion, air pollution, and noise problems. These issues not only spoil the visitor's experience but also threatens the long-term survival of heritage structures. If not managed carefully, tourism can therefore contribute to the gradual destruction of the very heritage asset it seeks to promote and celebrate. So, with this, we'll conclude this video. In the next video, we will discuss community engagement model. Thank you for watching this video.